for you to make things the way they used to be. Don't be taking action to make things the way they used to be, because you might be avoiding life. You might be setting up a situation for you where your feelings become null and void, where you don't feel anything. Life is alive, you see. Don't let your action move you really to inaction. That becomes a distraction. So for us, then we immediately turn to prayer and we turn to meditation. It's our tools that connects us with the source, where we get connected to the source. It is here where the guidance to take action comes from. You've got to be connected to the source. You got to be connected to your source. That's where the guidance for the action comes from. It's just not a willy-nilly type of action. It's an action that comes from within. It's the guidance that comes from within. That's where we take our action from. It's in this place then where we start to move our feet. And it's not that we just have to go to one room and turn the light switch on. We have to go to this room and turn the light switch on, and we have to go to that room and turn the light switch on, and we have to go to that room and turn the light switch on, and we have to go to that room and turn the light switch on, and then collectively, the action that occurred here and there and there and there comes together for my good. It's getting the conditions right. It's treating and moving your feet. Because in one room, you might find yourself engaged in love. And in another room, you find yourself engaged in forgiveness. And in another room, you find yourself engaged in being peaceful and patient. And in this room back here, you find yourself being in joy and happiness. It's not just in one place, it's all over the place, everywhere. All things coming together for your good. That's how we make a demonstration. It's not limited to one area. All of you, see, you pick up yourself from here and here and there, and it comes together. But there's got to be action. There's got to be action then in every room. There's got to be some action occurring here and here and here and there. The action. Trust it. Treat and move your feet. Moving stones. Because see, what happens is when you go to flip on the light, you become the receiver. You become the receiver of light, and your action in flipping on the light, it binds you to the light. You become one with it, you're binded to it, and then it validates your use of it. Yes. Are you with me? Yes. So the invitation then is to take action in our lives. And I kind of have sensed it or like this over the last couple of days. In this invitation to take action, it's really life saying something like this. I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Now, I don't know about you, but anytime somebody says that to me, whether it was my mother when I shouldn't have been doing something that I was doing, and she would holler out, I can show you better than I can tell you. Right? Something in me gets revved up. Or if it's on the other spectrum and somebody that I want to be saying that to me, I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay? Yes. And suddenly I go, what? The universe is saying this to us over and over again. Take some action. I can show you better than I can tell you. Go and move the stone. Go and flip on the light. You see, don't try to move a pebble, but move the stone. Go and be present with the stinky stuff in your life. Go to something that is really there, that is ready to be moved in your life. You see, the action. You got to be connected to the source if you're going to take action. You can't just treat and don't move your feet. You've got to treat and you've got to move your feet, because our experience here and there and everywhere comes together then collectively for our good. The action. The action. I can show you better than I can tell you. And so now then, in this moment, I think I'm ready to anchor the words. So I'm going to invite the practitioners to come on and do it with me. As we turn within and allow ourselves to become ever present with this presence and be present with the presence, that here in this moment we find ourselves bringing our whole awareness and our full recognition to it. The one mind, the one power, the one presence, the one energy, and the one essence. God and only God, good and only good. God in its creativity, God in its word, God in its feeling, God and its action. Alive, animating life. In me, through me, and as me, and I know the same for you. This divine power and presence in you and as you and through you, where there's no separation, where there's nothing in us but all that God is. Nothing about us but all that God is. Nothing flowing through us but the infinite ideas, the unending wisdom and intelligence flowing through us, moving us, guiding us, directing us into right action and activity. And as I know this to be the truth for me and the truth for you, I affirm now then in this moment for each one of us, a substance, a source within us that moves us to stones, that allows us to roll them over and out of the way. This substance and this source that moves us to situations and circumstances where we stand boldly before it and command and demand in our presence right where we are, that something shifts, that something changes, that we open up to something new in that moment. I know now that nothing in me denies this as being the truth for me, and nothing in me denies this as being the truth for you. So I know right here and right now that action is occurring all over the place, that if it's a new job that you want, that you are putting out resumes, that you're making contacts, that you are finding yourself in places and spaces where the opportunities are abound, if it's to move into being pain-free, I know now that in this moment that each one of us, we get up and we walk, we do what we can do. If it's for wealth, I know in this moment that we go and spring into action and open the bank account and start thinking about what we're going to do with what we receive. How are we going to be embraced and engaged in life of giving? The action, the action, the action, the action, the action occurring right here and right now. I know that this action is precise and that each one of us are moved into action with ease and grace. I know now and affirm then for myself and for each one of us, lives changed, demonstrations made, the manifestation before us. I hold this truth and know it as being so. And so then I am moved into giving thanks for all the newness, for the new ideas, for the resources, for the substance, for the source that moves us. I give thanks in this day for it, all that I'm aware of and all that I'm not aware of. And I am just moved then to releasing these words into the law. That is, receiving it within myself, wholly and completely, And so as we live in the demonstration, I know we are moved into an even greater expectancy of more good, of more life, of more bounty, of more beauty, more peace, more joy, and more love. All that we can imagine and all that we can't imagine. So easily, I just let these words go. I let them be. And together we anchor by saying, and so it is.